Hey guys, welcome back, I'm Jay. In this episode, we're going to look at pricing factors for some core AWS services. Amazon EC2 lets you create and scale virtual servers anytime from anywhere. When you estimate the cost of using EC2, you need to consider the following factors. You are charged based on clock hours of server time. EC2 instances are billed when they are running, from the time instances are launched until they are stopped. You need to consider instance types, including instance families and sizes. EC2 provides a wide selection of instance types, optimized to fit different use cases. Instance types comprise combinations of CPU, memory, storage, and networking capacity. You should choose the right pricing model for your workload. With on-demand instances, you pay for compute capacity by hours without minimum commitment. You can reserve instances if you want to receive a significant discount. Reserved instances give you the option to pay all upfront, partial upfront, or no upfront payment at all. The more you pay upfront, the greater discount you get. With spot instances, you can leverage unused EC2 capacity for steep discounts. You should create the appropriate number of EC2 instances, so that they can handle the peak workload. For example, you can choose one instance to handle the workload for 10 hours, or choose 10 instances to handle the same workload for 1 hour. The amount you pay for is the same. You should generally choose more instances for a shorter time. Elastic load balancing can distribute traffic among EC2 instances. The number of hours that ELB runs and the amount of data it processes contribute to the monthly cost. You can use CloudWatch to monitor your EC2 instances. By default, basic monitoring is enabled. You can also turn on the detailed monitoring for more insight. Detailed monitoring contributes to monthly costs. Auto-scaling automatically adjusts the number of EC2 instances according to the conditions you define. There is no additional costs beyond CloudWatch charges. You can associate an elastic IP address or EIP with a running EC2 instance at no charge. However, you will pay for any detached EIP that is not associated with any instance. Operating system prices are normally included in instance prices. You can also choose bring your own licenses. There are additional charges to run third-party platforms and software packages. AWS Lambda lets you run code without provisioning or managing servers. You pay only for the compute time you consume. There is no charge when your code is not running. With Lambda, you are charged based on the number of requests for your functions, and the time it takes for your code to execute. Lambda registers a request each time it starts executing in response to an event, including test invocations from the console. You are charged for the total number of requests across all your functions. Duration is calculated from the time your code begins executing until it returns or otherwise terminates, rounded up to the nearest 100 milliseconds. The price depends on the amount of memory you allocate to the function. For request pricing, your first 1 million requests per month are included in the free tier. After the first 1 million requests, you pay 20 cents per million requests. For duration pricing, you get 400,000 gigabytes to seconds free per month. After that you pay per gigabyte to second rate. You may incur additional charges if the Lambda function uses other AWS services or transfers data. For example, if the Lambda function reads data from or writes data to S3 buckets, you will be billed for the read and write requests, and the data stored in S3. EBS provides block-level storage volumes for EC2 instances. EBS volumes are the off-instance storage that persists independently from the life of an instance. For example, when you terminate an EC2 instance, you may still be charged for EBS volumes if you've set delete on termination to false. When you estimate the cost of EBS, you need to consider the following. You need to choose the right volume types for the workloads. Different volume types have different prices and suit different workloads. SSD-backed volumes are optimized for transactional workloads, involving frequent read and write operations with small I/O sizes, where the dominant performance attribute is IOPS. HDD-backed volumes are optimized for large streaming workloads, where throughput is measured in megabits per second, which is a better performance measure than IOPS. SSD-backed volumes are more expensive than HDD-backed volumes. EBS volume storage for all EBS volume types is charged by the amount of gigabytes you provision per month, until you release the storage. EBS snapshot storage is based on the amount of space your data consumes in S3, because snapshots are stored in S3. If you copy a cross-region snapshot, you will be charged based on the volume of data transferred across regions. For the first snapshot of a volume, EBS saves a full copy of your data to S3. For each incremental snapshot, only the changed part of the EBS volume will be saved. Inbound data transfer is free in most cases, however, AWS charges tiered prices for outbound data transfer. Amazon S3 is the object storage, built to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. It is designed to deliver the 11.9's durability. S3 provides simple and cost-effective pay-as-you-go pricing. With Amazon S3, you pay only for the storage you use, with no minimum fee. Unlike EBS volumes, there is no provisioning in S3. Prices are different based on AWS regions of your S3 buckets. When you estimate the cost of S3, you should consider the following factors. Amazon S3 offers different storage classes. There are S3 Standard, S3 Infrequent Access, S3 One Zone Infrequent Access, and S3 Intelligent Tier. Each class provides a different level of redundancy at different prices. S3 offers tiered prices based on the total space you consume. You pay per gigabyte rate for the total size of all objects in S3 buckets. Prices vary in different regions. AWS charges read and write requests, such as GET, POST, LIST, and PUT requests, when you use AWS Console, CLI and API. For example, when you use the S3 console to browse objects, you incur charges for GET and LIST requests. Rates are based on per 1,000 requests, and vary in different regions. GET requests are less expensive than other requests. Data transfer into S3 is free. Prices for data transferred out to other regions or the internet varies per gigabyte rates in different regions. You can pay extra for transfer acceleration to leverage AWS Edge locations. If you use S3 with Cloudfront, data transfer out of S3 to Cloudfront is free. However, you need to pay for data transferred from Cloudfront to S3. S3 Select is a feature that allows you to use SQL command to query directly on data, without retrieving the entire data. You pay for S3 Select based on total data scanned and data returned. Amazon S3 Glacier is the durable, secure, and extremely low-cost cloud storage for data archive and long-term backup. It's designed to deliver 11.9's durability. Glacier provides comprehensive security and compliance capabilities to help you meet the most stringent regulatory requirements. Glacier also provides query and place functionality, allowing you to run powerful analytics directly on your archived data at rest. You can archive large amount of data at a very low cost. You pay only for what you need, with no minimum fees. Storage pricing for Glacier starts at 0.4 cents per gigabyte per month. Prices vary in different regions. Because Glacier is designed for very infrequent access and long-term archives, data retrieval is slower than S3. You pay different retrieval prices based on different retrieval time. The retrieval prices are charged based on the size of data retrievals and the number of retrieval requests. Data transferred into Glacier is free. However, you need to pay for data transferred out of Glacier to the internet, or across different regions. Glacier Select is a feature that allows you to use SQL command to query directly on data stored in Glacier, without retrieving the entire archive. You pay for Glacier Select based on total data scanned and data returned. AWS Snowball is a petabyte-scale data transport solution that uses secure appliances to transfer large amounts of data into and out of the AWS cloud. Snowball uses a secure physical device to transport data. When you order Snowball service, AWS physically sends the Snowball device to you. Then you load the data into the Snowball device and send the device back to AWS. After receiving the device, AWS helps you load data into S3. You can even order a snowmobile truck if need the exabyte scale data transportation. Each snowmobile have transport up to 100 petabyte data. With AWS Snowball, you pay a service fee per data transfer job, and the cost of shipping the appliance. Each job includes the use of a Snowball appliance for 10 days of on-site usage for free. There is a small charge for extra on-site days. Shipping days are not counted toward the on-site days. With Snowball, data transferred into S3 doesn't incur any additional data transfer fee. If you use Snowball to transfer data out of S3, additional data transfer charges may apply. Prices vary in different regions. Amazon RDS is a web service that makes it easy to provision and scale relational databases in the cloud. The costs of RDS are determined by the following factors. Clock hours of server time incur charges when RDS DB instances are running, from the time you launch a DB instance until you terminate it. The physical capacity of the database will affect how much you are charged. Database characteristics vary depending on the database engine, instance size, and memory class. Different DB instance purchase options have different pricing. With on-demand DB instances, you pay for each hour your DB instance runs with no minimum fee. You can also reserve RDS DB instances to get significant discounts on the hourly charge. With Amazon RDS, you can provision multiple DB instances to handle peak loads. You can create read replicas for read-heavy workloads, and pay for the number of DB instances running. You will be charged for database storage you provision. It's billed per gigabyte month. Prices vary for different storage classes in different regions. There is no additional charge for backup storage of up to 100% of the provisioned database storage for an active DB instance. Any additional backup storage exceeds 100% of your provisioned storage is billed per gigabyte per month. After the DB instance is terminated, backup storage is billed per gigabyte per month. Snapshot Export provides an automated method to export data within an RDS snapshot to S3 and Parquet format. You can analyze the exported data with AWS Data Analytics Services, such as Athena, EMR, and SageMaker. Snapshot export is billed per gigabyte of snapshot size. Depending on the storage types, you will pay for the number of input and output requests to the database. You can deploy your DB instance to a single availability zone or multiple availability zones. Instance hourly rate, storage and I/O charges can vary. Inbound data transfer to the RDS database is free. However, you need to pay for the outbound data transfer. Amazon RDS also offers Aurora Serverless that allows you to pay for what you consume. With Aurora Serverless, your database capacity automatically scales up or down. Database capacity is measured in Aurora Capacity Units or ACUs. You pay an hourly rate per ACU. One ACU has approximately 2 GB of memory with corresponding CPU and networking. Amazon DynamoDB is the NoSQL database service that delivers single-digit millisecond performance at any scale. With DynamoDB, you only pay for the resources you consume. You don't need to provision any CPU, memory, or storage. DynamoDB offers on-demand capacity and provision capacity modes. With on-demand capacity, you pay for read and write requests that the application performs on your tables. You don't need to specify how much read and write throughput you expect. With provision capacity, you need to specify the number of reads and writes per second. You can use autoscaling to automatically adjust the capacity. DynamoDB capacities are measured in write capacity unit or WCU, and read capacity unit or RCU. Each API call to write data to your table is a write request. Each API call to read data from your table is a read request. One WCU can perform one write request for items up to 1 kilobyte per second. One RCU can perform one strongly consistent read request, or two eventually consistent read requests for items up to 4 kilobytes per second. DynamoDB also provides transactional styled reads and writes. There is no additional cost to enable transactions for your DynamoDB tables. You pay only for the reads or writes that are part of your transaction. Transactional requests need 2 WCUs or 2 RCUs to perform the same size of write requests or read requests per second. For read and write requests, you are billed per million requests. Request prices are different for on-demand capacity, provision capacity, and reserve capacity modes. DynamoDB measures index data storage as billable data. It is the raw byte size of the data, plus a per item storage overhead of 100 bytes for indexing. You do not need to provision storage with DynamoDB, you only pay for what you use. You need to pay for DynamoDB backups and restore based on the total size of the data. Data transfer into DynamoDB is free, as well as data transfer out of DynamoDB to other AWS services in the same region. You will pay for a cross-region data transfer. You can enable advanced features of DynamoDB, such as global tables, DynamoDB Accelerator, and DynamoDB Streams. Additional fees may apply. Global tables provide a fully managed solution for deploying a multi-region, multi-master database, without having to build and maintain the replication. DynamoDB charges global tables usage based on the resources used on replica tables. Write requests for global tables are measured in replicated WCU. DynamoDB Accelerator or DAX provides in-memory caching for high performance. Pricing is per node hour consumed and is dependent on the instance type you select. DynamoDB Streams tracks data modification of DynamoDB tables. You pay for data read from streams and read request units. Amazon CloudFront is AWS Global Content Delivery Network, that leverages edge locations and Amazon ultrafast network to cache content and accelerate data transfer. Cloudfront charges are based on the data transfers and requests used to deliver content to your customers. Data transfer from the origins of AWS services to Cloudfront is free. When you estimate the cost of Cloudfront, you need to consider the following. You need to pay for traffic distribution. Prices of data transfer and requests vary across geographic regions, and pricing is based on the edge location through which your content is served. You need to pay for the number and types of HTTP requests made. Prices vary depending on the geographic region in which the requests are made. You need to pay for the amount of data transferred out of edge locations either to end users, or transferred out to the origins. AWS lets you quickly explore and experiment with different services at virtually zero cost. Over 60 AWS services come with the free tier. AWS offers 3 types of free tier services. There are services always free with certain usage limits. There are also services free for the first 12 months, from the date you sign up with AWS. Some services offer a time-based free trial for you to quickly experiment and explore the functionality. Here are some examples of AWS free tier services. The following free tier services are always free with certain limits. Amazon DynamoDB gives you up to 200 million free requests per month, 25 free write capacity units and 25 free read capacity units, 25 gigabytes free index data storage, and 2.5 million free stream read requests per month. With Amazon Glacier, you can retrieve up to 10 gigabytes of data per month for free. Amazon Lambda offers 1 million free requests per month, and up to 3.2 million seconds free compute time per month. Some free tier services are only available to new AWS customers in the first 12 months. With Amazon EC2, you get 750 free hours per month of T2 micro or T3 micro instance usage in the first 12 months. Amazon S3 offers 5 gigabytes free storage of S3 standard class, 20,000 GET requests and 2,000 PUT requests for free in the first 12 months. Amazon RDS gives you 750 free hours of DBT2 micro instances with single AZ deployment, 20 gigabytes free general purpose SSD database storage, and 20 gigabytes free backup storage in the first 12 months. With Amazon CloudFront, you get 50 gigabytes free outbound data transfer, 2 million HTTP and HTTPS requests each month for free in the first 12 months. AWS also offers free utility services. These services are either as part of AWS infrastructure or utility tools to use with other AWS services. AWS Identity and Access Management or IAM is a free service that lets you create IAM users, groups, and roles, and manage and control access to other AWS resources and services. AWS Well-Architected Tool is a free service that allows you to review the state of your workloads and compares them to the latest AWS architectural best practices. AWS Organizations is a free service that helps you centrally govern your AWS accounts. It helps you share resources, consolidate billing, control access, compliance and security across multiple AWS accounts. AWS License Manager is a free service that makes it easy to manage software licenses, such as Microsoft, SAP, and Oracle licenses, across AWS and on-premises environments. AWS Personal Health Dashboard gives a personalized view of the health of AWS services. It's free for all customers. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud or VPC is the free networking configuration service that provides the logical separation of AWS resources. You can use VPC for free. However, you need to pay for resources you provision inside of VPC, such as EC2 instances and elastic load balancers. AWS Autoscaling monitors resources with CloudWatch, and manages auto-scaling for EC2 instances, ECS containers, and DynamoDB. It's free to use autoscaling. However, you need to pay for CloudWatch monitoring and the resources you scale. AWS Shield Standard provides protections for all AWS customers from common DDoS attacks. It's free for all customers. AWS CloudFormation allows you to automate resource provisioning with infrastructure as code. There is no additional charge for using AWS CloudFormation with resource providers in AWS predefined naming spaces. However, you need to pay for AWS CloudFormation from third-party resource providers. By and large, you will use AWS predefined naming spaces. AWS Elastic Beanstalk lets you easily deploy and run your applications. It's free to use Elastic Beanstalk. However, you need to pay for underlying resources, such as EC2 instances, EBS volumes, elastic load balancing, RDS databases, and S3 storage. In this episode, we've learned pricing factors of various AWS services and fundamental drivers of costs. In general, compute capacity is billed based on clock hours. Storage and outbound data transfer are billed per gigabyte of data. We've gone through the pricing factors for some AWS core services. You need to understand what determine the prices, and what incurs costs for these services. AWS offers free tier for over 60 services. There are services always free with service limits, and services that are free for new AWS customers. AWS also offers some free utility services for all customers. You can use them with other AWS resources. They are free to use, however, you need to pay for other resources. Okay, that's all for AWS pricing. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.
Hope you've enjoyed watching this episode. If you liked the video, please help us and hit the like button. If you want to watch more tutorials, please subscribe to the Cloudemy TV channel. Make sure to turn on the notification and stay tuned. At Cloudemy, we're passionate about cloud and AI technology. Please share your feedback and thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to watch. Happy watching and happy learning.